Hello, it's Bob Pandolfo on Friday, June 8th. Friday, June 7th with Power Pace and with Pandy, and it's 2024. The Belmont Stakes will be raced this year at Saratoga tomorrow on June 8th, and they will be going a mile and a quarter this time, not a mile and a half around Big Sandy at Belmont, as Belmont is still renovating and will probably, it's supposed to be open in 2026. So they're running a 4-day meet. Yesterday's card, the opening day, was fantastic, and today's card is amazing. Tomorrow's card is fantastic. So here's my picks. I put them on my free page at handicapwinners.com/free, and I'm picking Mindframe. Here's my picks: 10, 5, 9, 3, Mindframe, Antiquarian, Sierra Leone, and Mystic Dan. And I put my Formula Pro ratings. That's one of my systems. As you can see, now ranked on stamina, which is what I rank route races. Mindframe was ranked first on stamina. He's ranked first on ability too, tied with Mystic Dan. That's kind of also a stamina type rating. Mindframe's also is ranked first on race distance, but so it's a lot of horses are tied with that one. Now he is ranked first on form, and he's tied with Antiquarian on form. Form has popped a lot of long shots since I developed this system. Horses that were ranked first on form that were long shots that won. He's also ranked first on fraction and first on average speed. Fraction's a very good long shot rating. Now he's not going to be a long shot, but it's a rating which shows the speed that a horse has in between calls for the early part of the race. Now, the horse that's going to be the favorite is going to be Sierra Leone, and this horse is, might be the best horse in the race. He always runs his race. The problem is he lugs in, and I picked him second in the Kentucky Derby because of that reason. Even though I thought he was the best horse, I thought he'd lug in. He did lug in, and as it turned out, the horse that beat him came up the inside anyway. He got a much better trip, but Sierra Leone probably should have been disqualified and placed third in that race because, if you remember, he nosed out the Japanese horse, Forever Young, but he was banging into Forever Young the whole stretch. He just slamming into him. He never runs a straight race, and he's particularly vulnerable to lugging in the stretch, and that can hurt a horse a lot because if the jockey has to sort of like take a hold of him in order to try to keep him straight, he can't push him to run as fast as he can. So, if he's facing a field where he's much the best, he's going to win anyway. But in a field like this where you have some talented horses, that could hurt you. Now they are changing a bit that they think will give the jockey more control. They're also changing jockeys, but they're going from one top jockey to another top jockey. I think he'll run well. I'd be surprised if he doesn't lug in, even with the new bit. But I wanted to take a chance against him here. He'd be coming from far back, off the pace. I think the pace will probably be honest, though. You have basically three horses that figure to leave: Caesar Gray, Dornock, and Mindframe. So I think Mindframe will probably try to stalk from the outside. As far as Antiquarian, I like the way he's starting to come around. He's improving. He's only raced 4 times. He raced nicely in the Peter Pan. He came on and he won at a mile and an eighth. I think he could be sitting on another forward move. Mystic Dan always runs his race, so he's a hard horse to leave out. He's consistent. His last 4 races have all been good. I think if there's a knock on Mystic Dan, is that he's raced 8 times. He seems unlikely to take a big step forward. He's probably going to run about the same speed figure he usually runs. But now you're starting to get, now you're in June instead of May. Horses now have had a little bit more time to develop. And of course, some of these other horses are going to develop a little later because they started out a little later. So if you keep running the same race, it's hard to win. You have to kind of keep improving. And Mystic Dan kind of runs the same race every time. I think he'll be competitive, and if he gets the right kind of trip, he may have a chance to win. He is consistent. But I want to take a look at Mindframe's past performances here. So Mindframe, I watched this race in his debut. He went 7 furlongs. This race, as you can see, had a quick pace at Gulfstream Park, and he wasn't that far back, and he was, keeping up nicely. But then when Irad Ortiz asked him on a turn, he really made a big move. I mean, he just started to, catch these two front runners quickly, and then he came into the stretch and he drew off powerfully. Now in his last race, the non-winners of one race going 2 turns at Churchill Downs, it wasn't much of a field. He just rated this kind of a modest pace and he won easily. That wasn't much of a test for him. But I'm just going to go with the horse I think has the most talent. I mean, he's a fast horse. He has the top Brisnet speed figure. He has the top Beyer figure. He's bred to run long. He should get a nice trip on the outside. I think he'll stalk the pace and then take over when Irad Ortiz, ask him, is he going to be able to stay 1.25 miles in his third lifetime start? We'll see. But that's my pick. And my long shot would probably be Antiquarian, who I put second, who I think can keep improving. And I think Sierra Leone, and Mystic Dam will both run their races. It's just a matter of can Sierra Leone run straight in the stretch. So anyway, thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel, and if you subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And if you click the like button, you'll find out when I have more videos. So enjoy the Belmont Stakes. It's gonna be a great card tomorrow.